Shoulders. So we've been talking a lot about the rotator cuff and just the shoulder girdle in general. And I wanted to show you one way to work on the tight areas like the pecs, serratus, anterior, pec minor, biceps, brachii, and also activate the hyperextended areas. One of my favorite ways to do this is with a little muscle energy technique, a little isometric contraction, and some stretching. I have Candace here today. She's gonna help me. Hi. You can see her in some of our other videos, like Hey Kias. The first thing that I like to do is, of course, test out and see what's going on. Now, I often will want to put my knee just to support her mid-thoracic, because a lot of times when I start to stretch their shoulder so that they can kind of proprioceptively get further back, they'll twist their thoracic spine. But that's not where we're going today. So I let her fall open and out, and I'm just gonna feel through her pec here for where it's tight. I'm going to rotate her forearm internally just slightly, which actually creates a little bit more of a twist through this dynamic line of force. And there it is. So I'm just gonna ask her to hang out there for a minute. How does that feel for you, Candace? Good. Okay. So now I'm going to support her hand and her elbow and just ask her to give me, with a straight elbow, about 80% of pressure pushing into me going forward. So this little isometric contraction. And what this is allowing is to activate some of the muscles behind her shoulder, lengthen through here dynamically. We're gonna hold this about 10 to 20 seconds. Let I'm feeling in and relax for me. We're gonna just let her relax a little bit, and I'm gonna pull her back. And as you can see, she gets more motion, just like that. Again, I'm gonna start to rotate inward just slightly. Ask her to press in to my arm with about 80%. Good. Again, I have my knee not pressing into her thoracic spine, but just supporting it, letting it know not to turn any further. I'm watching for her breath to make sure she's not holding her breath. If she were, she'd be going too hard. And relax. And if you just come over here, I'm gonna show you our next technique. So already, I can feel through here that there's a lot more movement, and that only took about a minute. The next action I'm gonna ask her to do is I'm just gonna find her shoulder blade, and then I'm gonna find her spine. Can you feel this area right between the two? Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is try to compress my fingers with your shoulder blade, compress it back. So I'm bringing it up to 90. And as I do that, perfect. As I do that, I'm gonna bring her back. So keep pressing through, keep pressing through. I'm gonna keep my knee just around her thoracic spine. Keep pressing hard, hard, hard. Don't use your elbow. And I'm just gonna keep going back. Keep pressing, keep pressing. So now we're activating areas that are almost always hyperextended. And what this does is it literally turns off, neuroceptively, turns off the antagonist muscles. Keep pressing even harder, right into my finger here. More, more, more. And as you can see, she's going really, really far. Keep pressing. Yeah, right into my finger. I'm watching for her breath. You feel that little contraction there, that was great, and relax. So now this is nice and stable. This is more relaxed. So we can go into the internal rotation, where a lot of people find themselves kind of stuck. But by doing this here, we're gonna actually allow for these internal rotators to stretch and activate at the same time. So I have her hand down here. She can make a fist if she wants to. Now what I'm gonna ask you to do, without using your abs, you can think about trying to rotate by pressing your elbow toward the front and then into my hand when I tell you to, okay? So now that we have some movement here, I'm going to actually get underneath her biceps here. I'm gonna roll it back. I'm gonna ask her to press her shoulder forward. Good. You can use your elbow to kind of cantilever forward a little bit. And then I'm gonna start to press away from her neck and head. Keep pressing in through here. More, more, more. Good. And I can feel that she's very weak here. So she's short and she's weak, which happens a lot when you have compensation patterns. And we're holding. I'm watching for her breath to make sure she's not holding it. And relax. And look at how her shoulder just peels away. How nice does that feel, right? And then we're just gonna bring it through. We're gonna find that new space. I'm going to stabilize the shoulder and then ask her again to push in. Good. Keep giving it to me, using your elbow if you need, but not your abs. And relax. And again, it peels open. So those are 3 really, really easy ways to get the muscles that are in a dysfunctional pattern to activate, stretch, and strengthen. Thanks so much, guys.